Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie. This is Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is going to be another pick a card reading. We're going to be asking the question, what makes you unforgettable? I'm not going to be having it too specific on exactly. Well, I'm going to try to get the signs of who can't forget you, but I'm not going to be going on too far on like what they're doing and all that good stuff. It's just more so going to be on what attributes about you can't they forget and who possibly it is. Okay? So, as always, the timestamps are going to be on the left side in the description box. Just tap that little arrow and scroll up and pick your pile. It might be one, it might be two, it might be three, or it might be all four. All right? But as always, thanks for the people who like, share, subscribe, people who commenting, people who book those readings, people who donated, people who just inquire and just stop by and just check the videos out and see what we got going on. I appreciate that as well. I'm not gonna do too much talking, so let's get going. This is pile one, this is pile two, this is pile three, and this is pile four. So I'm gonna get started with pile one. All right, pile one. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. People might remembered you from the past of it seemed like you might have been always running out of time or always like something was off with your schedule. You weren't really a timely person. You might have been late to functions, late to parties, or if you wasn't that, you were a great time manager. It seemed like you always had things accounted for with your time. But I'm getting that they remembered you as being someone who was always stuck in their head, seeming to repeat the same mistakes, the same cycles over and over again, but somehow you always end up getting lucky. They also seen you as a very confident person, very outgoing, very charismatic. It was like you were like the center of attention is what I got. You were a person who really worked hand in hand with other people. They remember how you were cooperative with others and you were very giving, as well as insightful, but it seemed like the information that you knew might have been information that others didn't know, or it was information that was like random facts, like random things that other people wouldn't know. It wasn't really commonplace information that you had, but it came from information that you got while sitting in deep contemplation or while off and alone by yourself. Also get that people remember you as being an uplifting and cheerful person that goes along with your confidence and you being an outgoing, charismatic person. It just seemed that a lot of times you would repeat the same hurtful cycles or the same hurtful patterns in your life, possibly in love, possibly in relationships with friendships, partners, or just some type of adventures that you would be on. Like you would just go out, like I want to kind of say like you were optimistic and you may just kind of like strike out on a limb. And it seemed like you would just be going round and around in these situations. But people definitely seeing you as having a lot of money, being very abundant, possibly seeing something that you may have won the lottery or you might have gotten some big fortune, some big come up. They remembered you for having wealth at least, or for having a large amount of money. For also dressing nice. They've definitely seen you as dressing nice. Some people remember you for like wearing baggy clothes, more like robes, sweatpants, like baggy t-shirts, saggy jeans, maybe something where it wasn't quite form-fitting. And then others remembered you when you did get dressed or when you did get fly. They remember you being like really dappered down and really having your stuff together. I get that people really see you as a lucky person, like pretty much whatever you aim at or whatever you go after, you achieve. And it just seems like it's just lucky. Like, even if you haven't planned, even if you don't have a real destination or a real clear path to where you want to be, you just seem to get there anyway. And people remember that about you. As well as they remember at one point in life, you might have felt so drained, tired, lethargic, as well as cheerful in the same process. And you might have felt back then when they seen you, might have felt like you were powerless to change this round and around that you were in, like that repeated cycle. So you might have felt powerless to change or take control of your life, and that's what they remembered. Now, they can't forget you as well about your spiritual beliefs, because I have divination right here. So it might be something about your spiritual practice that you have that people can't forget, or your spiritual beliefs that people can't forget. But now that they've seen you, or if they heard about you, I'm getting that they see that your future is bright. They see that you're more excited about life. So I get that they remember you just being really optimistic, really outgoing, really charismatic, really confident. I get like the center of attention. You were a star. You lit up the room. You were either punctual or you were normally late, but it was always something having to do with the time. Either you had great timing. That's what I'm getting. Because if you were lucky, you had great timing. All right. You were pretty accurate with whatever things that it was that you were going after. Like luck just seemed to be getting you there. Now, these people who could be thinking about you could be a Leo, could be a Sagittarius, could be a Virgo, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be a Leo as well. That's what I'm looking at as well. These are the signs I'm seeing. All right. But these people definitely seen you going in the cycle and the pattern, and they remembered you like not being able to get out of this rut. But they see that luck is on your side, you know, and they remember, they know that eventually we were going to strike it. They just knew it. And they see that the biggest part I remember is that your confidence is what really stood out to them. You remind them of a Leo, or you might be a Leo, or you might be a Sagittarius, or you might be a Virgo. You know what I mean? So do with that what you will. But they did see you go through a period of time. They remember that you felt powerless and that you were always drained or just tired, not able to go after or pursue the things that you really wanted to. And they remember that about you. But they remember how you were so cheerful and uplifting to others even when you were going through this time. People remember that you were working on finding a balance while you were going through this rut. They remember how you were trying to find your footing and how you were just trying to get some type of traction or stability. They also remember how you might have, you were looking for answers or doing more of a deep introspection, or maybe questioning your finances or questioning a new beginning. You might have been like, okay, so people might think or might be, remember that you were into astrology, or that you were into some type of spirituality that you might have kept hidden. Like you had this air of spirituality about you that people really, they just couldn't put their finger on. And that's something that they couldn't forget about you. Yeah, people feel, they remember now, or they remember now, I guess now it would be a good time. Now they remember that basically you protected yourself. They might have seen that you were having a problem protecting yourself. They might remember that, but it's like now you have no trouble with that. It's like you're gonna let your voice roar. I keep seeing this lion so hard because this is really it. It's like now you're prideful, now you're egoic, now you have your confidence up, now you're a star. People see you, they recognize you, they value you. You know, you're a natural leader, and that's what people noticed about you. They never forgot that about you. As well as being super cheerful and a team worker. You were cooperating with others. You'll help others get a brand new start. That's what I got. You help people get a brand new start. You illuminate things that were hidden to them. You had esoteric knowledge. That's what I get. Esoteric knowledge. That's knowledge that's not common to other people, or it could be occult knowledge. But sometimes you would be in like baggy clothes, sweatpants, tights, or just like real chilled and relaxed. And then when you got some money, you started dressing more dapper. And they remember that about you. They remember that you're changing processes. Like you're a person that's been through many stages, and they remember this about you. But they mostly remember either you being late or being very punctual, being very confident, you being like really lucky, and they remember you staying in the same toxic mind frame or same toxic beliefs and keeping the same patterns going, like the same patterns that just seemed like a rut, and they kept bringing down your energy, kept draining you. All right. They also see you as being daring, bold, courageous, like really chasing after your dreams. They remember you believing that all things were possible. Like I said, with the Sagittarius energy, they see you as an optimist. They also see you as someone who's really chill, like I said with the Hermit, you know, with the baggy sweatpants, so you were really relaxed, really comfortable. So you're really comfortable in your skin. And that's what people also remembered about you. And that's probably why you were so comfortable or so confident, you know, because you were comfortable being who you are. You were comfortable in your own skin, and people can't forget that about you. It's like you are proud to be who you are. People know, those people that remember you know that you're going to basically be very much a success. Those people can't forget that about you. And they know that you have a lot of love. There's a lot of love here. These people probably love you a lot as well. Okay. So that's what I got. Power 1. I'm going to go over here to Power 2 and see what makes them unforgettable. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Nini. This is Leo in the 3rd house. Power 2. What makes you unforgettable? Power 2. Okay, so how to, what makes you unforgettable? I get that you know how to choose yourself. There might be something that you're working on, creative venture that you might not quite finished, or you might be producing, writing music, making music, or something creative that you didn't quite finish. They remember you for that. You was working on some type of project that you didn't quite finish. They also remember a relationship that might not went that well for you and that you had to release it. They might not have been loyal to you. It was some type of infidelity. People also remember you for being protective. You know, protective of yourself and protective of others that you love. They see you as being more guarded. They remember you being like a guarded person. You might have been a soldier or a police officer or someone, or like, you know, maybe you practice martial arts of some sort. They remember you being a defensive person or a fighter, protective as well. People can't forget the way that you communicate. You're very confident and you're very, you speak life into other people. You speak good fortune. You attract abundance. People can't forget that about you. At one time, you might have felt like there were things that you couldn't do or that there was not enough. You might have had a lack mentality. And so you learned now that there's abundance, and people have seen you like go through this phase or through this change of releasing things that aren't fulfilling you emotionally. And I get that more so with emotion. People see you as a forgiving person as well. So with that relationship that probably fell apart, where they were being disloyal to you, I get that you surrendered that, you released that, and you've forgiven those people. Because what I'm getting is, you spoke your truth. I get that people love your sexual energies too. So people remember your sexual energy. And I get that you might have been a stoner, or maybe somebody who is always into the good times, the good life. You know, like more like relaxing, chilling. Could be into like spirituality as well, like meditation, yoga. People remember that as well. People remember how close you kept your friends or close acquaintances, like you kept them close by. I get that you are very protective of your emotions. That's something that's sticking out as well. But you know how to communicate, and people really enjoy that about you. You gave great advice. Yeah, but you're really someone who likes to take time out to rest, to relax, and to like reassess what's going on around them. But people remember something about some project that you didn't quite finish. You probably took a time out from it, took a break, took a like a hobby. It could be a hobby. It was something that you took a break from, took time out, you stopped doing, that people maybe had enjoyed. It could have been making music. It could have been producing. It was something that you were working on, some type of project, creative project that you were doing that you probably took time out to release. I mean, to like you took a break on, all right? But I'm getting that really this relationship was like a pivotal moment in your life, and that's what might have gave you your confidence, or that broke you out of this pattern that you might have been in. You were holding on to past hurt, and you've finally gotten over it. So people remember you like releasing that hurt or that disappointment of this relationship that didn't pan out, or this project that you had that didn't pan out. You pretty much surrendered it to the divine, or surrendered it to the universe to kind of just do whatever with it, what it will. You know what I mean? And now you started attracting abundance. People remember that after you took that step, you started attracting abundance. People see you sharing some type of gift. Could be with communication. You could be a talk host, a radio host, or something having to do with talking, speaking to other people. You could be a counselor. But whatever it is bringing you fortune, it's bringing you money, and people can't forget that. They see that you've gotten confidence from it, and they can tell now by the way that you speak, and they can't forget that. Or they could tell then by the way that you spoke, and they can't forget that. They see you as someone who's a deep knower or a deep understanding of emotions, and that's probably why you guard your emotions as well. But you are a person who's forgiving, because you understand that love is a precious energy, and that you must nurture it and not block it off. So I'm getting that people they know that you will accomplish the goals that you have, because of the way that you're so you know how to network, or you know how to communicate to others what it is that you need, and you confidently speak that out. I get an energy of you as well as being like a sharing, but I get mostly of you like being a smoker, some person who like, you might smoke weed, or you might like smoke hookah, or something of a sense, like, you might drink lean, or what's that, syrup, or you might, you can pop pills or whatever. I'm not judging anybody for whatever they do. It's more of like you get inspired from either doing shrooms, or you get inspired from like altered states, and people remember this about you. They'll never forget that about you, for sure. You could be a Gemini, you could be a Pisces, or you could be a Cancer. But people remember you were going through a phase where you felt like there wasn't enough, or like you didn't have enough. And then you started communicating what it was that you needed with confidence. You might have felt like there were things that you couldn't do, or you didn't believe in yourself, and now people are seeing that you do believe in yourself, and it came after you leaving from this relationship where there was a disloyalty or some type of betrayal. And you released it, and then you found your own voice. And now you give a lot of good advice to other people, and other people see you working on some type of project or some type of creative venture that you didn't quite finish. You just kind of took some time out to breathe, or to reassess it, and to kind of look at it from another perspective or another point of view. I get that though, that people think you have a higher purpose, as in moving humanity or moving the world forward and progression. Like through I'm getting it through your communication, through the words that you speak. They feel that you're inspiring the world, or you're inspiring humanity. Like you're going to change the world for a better place through the words that you speak. They never forgot that. You are a very powerful orator, or a very powerful speaker. I get that past lovers still think about you. They still kind of look back at you because they remember your loyalty. You had a loyal heart. But you are not afraid to choose yourself. That's for sure. Because of other pictures, you do have you tied up with other people. But at the same time, you're more comfortable alone and secluded. So you could be a Cancer, but you're really spiritual. And it doesn't necessarily have to be traditional spirituality. I'm thinking more like New Age spirituality, like yoga, Reiki, what we call New Age. It's just being founded again, or rediscovered again. But I'm getting this as people just know that you're going to achieve your dreams and help humanity. They really have confidence in you. If you're not someone who like does drugs, you're someone who really likes to relax and like take time out to do inspired thinking through either watching podcasts, watching shows, watching documentaries, but you like to be inspired while in your leisure time. You know, you like to get higher knowledge or higher information or learn something while relaxing and chilling. Okay, but that's what I got so far for pile 2. So I'm gonna go over here to pile 3. Thanks for watching again. This is your boy Noonie, and this is Leo in the third house. About to go over here to pile 3 and see what's up with them. Pile 3, this is your reading. What makes you unforgettable? Okay. I see a lot of Aries energy, Sagittarius energy, Cancer energy. Man, I see more Aries energy. Cancer energy, a lot. So you could be a Cancer, Sagittarius, Aries, or Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But I'm still thinking that you might be just more so a very watery, emotional person. People can't forget that they lost out on their soulmate. They feel like they lost out on their soulmate. You're a person who gets to the conclusions that they need. You get to the end results that you want through loving and nurturing good relationships with other people. You're very caring. You're very emotional. I get that you're very spontaneous, or you're very impulsive as well. So with your emotions, I get that you're very fiery and very passionate with your emotions, and you might be a blunt speaker, someone who likes to tell the truth. You like to tell it hard and straight to the point is the energy I get. You're also someone who knows how to play it cool. You've probably been working on learning to like temper your emotions, not be so fiery and so passionate, and maybe not want to always wring everybody's neck. Because I get that, like you're really a person who's like boom bow in your face, but you're really nurturing and really loving. All right. I get that you're always ready for new opportunities, or poised, like in a sense of just ready, just aware, conscious of your surroundings. And people can't forget that about you. But they really can't forget that you're a truth speaker, that you tell it like it is, boldly and bluntly, as well as lovingly. So it's a way of so you might see it as the way that you tell people the truth. You think that you're telling it to them lovingly. To other people, it might seem a bit bold or brash, or a bit impulsive, or a little rough, a little harsh. All right. But you are someone who's very accepting, and someone who's very romantic, and someone who wears their heart on a sleeve. So you're a very fiery, passionate person who's really in touch with their emotions. They may get the best of you sometimes, all right? But you're a really blunt speaker. You always tell the truth, and you're someone who can see the bigger picture of a situation. You kind of like stand back and look at the situation from another point of view. Maybe you can put yourself in other people's shoes, is the energy I'm getting. But I'm getting that you are someone who's not afraid to address circumstances or situations that seem to be an issue to you, especially when it comes to emotions. You're not afraid to address emotional situations, but you can be a bit pushy, all right? And so I get that you're learning how to actually learn to play it cool and not to place expectations or to push others in the direction that you want them to go, as opposed to just kind of being more creative about the ways that you get what you want. I get, though, that people, they can't forget you because they really feel like you were their soulmate, like you really got them, like you were their other half. You might have had the key to some people's heart. You know what I mean? People really, really remember that about you. I get, though, that these soulmates that you had, they were really conflicting. You guys had a lot of conflicts, a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering, but they still can't forget you. It's still a lot of love there for you, a lot of love. You got, in the middle, I see nothing but heart. So it's a lot of love. Even when you share your truth, this bitter, cold, hard truth, is still with love. You know what I mean? It's like you're opening your heart to share this information with other people. And it's a lot of wisdom to it. It's like you stand on this. I'm getting like you take the mask off of other people and you just like expose the truth to them, and you open your heart lovingly when you do it. It's like you're giving them a new opportunity to open their emotions, to allow themselves to feel their emotions. That's what I get. And that's why people probably can't forget you. Past soulmates, you probably were an emotional comfort to other people, and they weren't able to let go of that because of you. I mean, weren't able to forget that about you because of that. You gave a lot of love. You give a lot of love. But you are very passionate and a bit pushy, all right? I get you being really nurturing or like a mother figure. You could be a mother, but I get that most of the time you're alone. Most of the time you're alone. Okay? But you're not afraid to offer your feelings, offer some emotion, be romantic. You're not afraid to to offer apologies. I'm getting that you're possibly about to go after your beliefs or go after something that you want to achieve. Like your people remember you like being ready to go after things that you really want to achieve. Like you're a go-getter. You definitely have that Aries energy. You're a self-starter. You've probably been working for a while since you were like 14, 15, 16. You've been working at a young age is the energy I'm getting as well. People can't forget about your body. You got a nice body. Like nice hips or a nice butt. If you're a guy, you're probably kind of stocky, maybe a little heavy set like me, you know what I mean? Maybe a little round. You could have long hair, pale skin or lighter skin. I'm also getting that you could be brown, tannish, brownish. I get that you usually either you're in a nightgown normally. People remember you being in a nightgown or some type of dress, some type of form-fitting dress. But they remember you either being in your nightgown or like your some type of clothing, and they remember you being in some type of form-fitting dress, form-fitting outfit. For guys, they remember you being in a suit, some type of tuxedo, or some type of like it was like a flamboyant suit that people could see you in. You might have been an officer, cop, paramedic. Something like your uniform. People remember you from your uniform, your job, some type of job you had where you were wearing a uniform, and they can't forget that about you. I get really that you're a straight shooter. That's really important, and that you're really serious about your beliefs. Like you're a hard person to change when it comes to your beliefs. But you're also a person who feels that you're free to believe whatever you want and allow others to believe whatever it is that they want to believe. You're just accepting. You're very accepting of others and their flaws. You might sometimes be an enabler, allowing others to do things that aren't in their best interest because you don't want to be the harsh parent or the harsh person, the harsh friend. You prefer to be the nurturer. But when it's time to tell the truth and express your emotions, you can be a bit blunt with those emotions. That's the energy I'm getting. I get that it's your beauty, though, that people really can't forget. You're a star. People can't remember. They can't forget about the way that you love them, the way that you allow people to just be. Like you are very loving, very nurturing. I want to say very mature, but you could be a bit fiery, impulsive, and controlling. You know what I mean? But it's with love. Your whole intention is with love. So that's not such a bad thing. It could be, a little hazardous to some people who don't need it in that way, but you're doing your best. All right. People might have felt like in the past you felt with your feelings you couldn't trust anyone, or you might have felt that like with past relationships, that it's too late to basically go back and fix things. You might have been one of those people. I just mostly get this energy of you being calming, and now you realize that everybody deserves your love. Now maybe you want to love the world, maybe you want to give more love to people you don't know randomly, but I feel this energy of you now opening your heart and expressing your emotions and expressing your feelings more openly. And people can't forget that about you. Okay, so this is something that's kicking in. Because this window to the heart is showing this, I'm getting that this is giving you a new opportunity to heal. Possibly some hurt that you had, some past hurt that went on with a soulmate or someone who you felt was your soulmate. You've released that hurt, and now you're allowing your heart and you're allowing love into the world. You're giving love to the world around you. And people see that about you. You might be celebrating or something. There might be a celebration coming up for you that people can't forget about. Maybe it's your birthday. People also remember that maybe you're not too fond of being cold. You don't like to be cold. I'm getting that energy. You don't like to be cold, but you might really like the beach or like being around water. And people will remember that about you as well. I got a whole lot for this pile. That was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, so pile 3, that's what I got. This your boy Noonie. This is Leo in the 3rd house. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go over here to pile 4. Pile 4, this is your pile. We're going to be asking, what makes you unforgettable? Okay. This is cool. This might be the spiritual pile. I guess every pile has a spiritual pile. All right. So I definitely get that you're some type of spiritual person, believing in the divine. You've been doing some type of healing work, working through your fears. You could be a Scorpio. You could be a Libra or a Virgo. Could be a Pisces. I do get some Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, and some Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. But I'm getting more Scorpio energy than anything, but that doesn't have to be your exact sign. I'm getting that you're a person who doesn't like to stay stuck in their head. All right? People remember you, though, as a person who used to be stuck in their head, overanalyzing situations, overthinking situations. But people remember you were going through a transformation. It was probably a really rocky one at first. They were seeing you going through like a hard transformation. They were seeing you working through it, especially with working through your fears. You were doing a transformation from the inside out emotionally. People were seeing you doing that. They were seeing you trusting in the universe, trusting in your divine, trusting in your belief. And they were seeing you were gaining some type of peace, some type of brand new beginning that had to do with your own inner peace. You were releasing things that weren't really serving you, which that usually what happens. But you were having more compassion with yourself and more compassion with others as you were working through these fears. People remember that. They remember that you were at peace while you were working through these fears and while you were releasing these things. They just remember you going through a very traumatic regeneration period or a really traumatic transformation, where you used to be always stuck in your head and you used to be afraid of other people hurting you or betraying you or taking advantage of you. But then you started like relaxing and finding peace within. You surrendered it up to the divine. People also think of you as being mystical or spiritual or just not really saying too much. Someone who keeps things hidden and doesn't really share all their emotions with everyone. And that might have been because while they seen you as an overthinker, you wouldn't really share your thoughts and you wouldn't really share your feelings. And you might have been like a loner or an isolator. A loner or an isolator? A loner or in isolation where you would normally be by yourself. But you were really analytical and really critical thinker. You might have been very self-critical as well, or very critical of others, and people remember that about you. But now, people seeing that you were working towards learning to nurture yourself and learning to just be lovable. Because maybe in the past you might not felt like you were lovable when they were meeting you. You were working through the fears of being able to be loved. So I get that you had fears around intimacy and allowing other people to get close to you. Because you also have this card, the Sword, which has to do with revenge and wanting to pay people back for karma. It also has to do with possibly a lawsuit or having to do something with so they could have seen you as you could have been a criminal at one time, where you may have broke laws or did something against the law or something that was a little bit deceitful. People seeing you as someone who was a tit for tat. If you did something to them, you needed to get them back. And then like a smirk in a smug way. People seeing you as comfortable alone, happy where you are, and I get you're accomplished. People remember you as being accomplished, of effortlessly creating or effortlessly achieving accolades, because you also have the 6 of Wands. So you get a lot of recognition. People recognize you for going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of stress, a lot of tension. So now you getting your flowers now. People can't forget how you basically overachieved from the circumstances that you were dealing with. People can't forget that. Though they don't really know too much about you, they only know the shallow aspects of you, like maybe who you are, where you're from, who you like to hang around with. Maybe you only share superficial stuff like, your clothes, your shoes, things you eat, restaurants you go to. You don't really get too in depth with people. But I do get that you illuminated a lot of things to people. You probably were a mirror to other people's fears and emotions. So you might have showed shined a light on other people's emotional fears or intimacy fears, where they have fears of getting close intimately and emotionally connecting with people that they don't know. They have a fear of being betrayed or a fear of being hurt, or being left out in the cold as well. And people remember you going through that, like braving the storm, pretty much. Reaching for the stars to get out of that mess that you were in. I get like it was a deep mess that you were in, and people remember that about you. They've seen your growth. They've seen your change. You worked through those fears and that old way of thinking and that old way of being, that old processing, that old thinking process that you had, that old emotional process that you had. People seeing you working through that. They noticed that you worked through that. I say they noticed, so they must still be watching you. This could be a Scorpio. I got Scorpio, I got Libra. And like I said, I got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. I got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. And I got Pisces energy as well. Now, in the past, when they did know you, you might have felt like you were unlovable, like you didn't have anything to offer, like you had to been going through a very hard time. People remember that period in you. And just that you were stuck in your head and you weren't really talking or weren't really expressing yourself and you weren't really sharing your thoughts. You were just trusting in the divine to basically help you out of this situation. Some people might remember you as being a backstabber or two-faced, a bit deceitful, maybe snakish, because you didn't do too much talking. So because you didn't share your thoughts, people thought maybe they couldn't trust you. And that's probably what you did when you shone this light. You shone this light on people's fear of intimacy. Because if you didn't do a lot of talking, you made people feel insecure and they felt maybe they couldn't trust you. So you shone a light on people who had insecurity, who had intimacy fears as well. But you were able to get a new peace through working through this. You were able to find your own inner peace through working through your fears and releasing this feeling of not being enough or not having enough left, or of this feeling of lack. You've gotten over that. Had to do with your finances possibly. But people did remember at the same time that you were able to accomplish a lot and that you would get a lot. You were well known. People knew you. They remembered your reputation, So you could have been a dangerous person, or you could have been a courageous person. You were definitely someone who would go through battles or go through fights or go through hard times, struggles, deceit, destruction, and you would still like transform those situations and come out better on the end, on the back end. I get mostly is just that people don't really know where you're headed. They know that there's a bunch of opportunities for you, that the world is open for you, that there's an abundance of chances and opportunities and experiences for you to experience, because they know that this new growth that you've gotten, it's allowed you to be free and detached from the way that you used to be. You're no longer holding on to those old beliefs. And people can't forget that period of time where you were at, when you were just working through those beliefs and you were trying to get to where you are now, which is at a state of self-peace and self-love. You learned how to nurture yourself. And now you're maybe more trusting in other people, or more trusting in yourself is what I'm getting. But I get that you don't share too much. There's an energy of occultness as well. And you believing in the universe or believing in the stars or believing in a higher power. But people can't forget how compassionate you were to them and towards yourself. They just remember that tension that you were going through and this period of you being an overthinker and not really sharing your thoughts and feelings with other people. They remember you being a loner, really alone, and someone who might have been slightly deceitful, or someone who might have been slightly vindictive, who liked to get their payback, which is definitely a Scorpio trait. But I'm getting like trial by fire. It's like that's what's coming to me, trial by fire, where you really went through like a gauntlet, or you went through a hard time and you really worked your way through it, and people can't forget that about you, because you had a difficult time, and people don't forget that. You came out victorious on the other end, getting public recognition, you're getting your flowers, You know, people know who you are now. And now you have this smug look where you're just comfortable and self-fulfilled within yourself. You know, but you don't share too much. You have knowledge or information that others don't have. You have a deeper understanding. I get that you're very deep emotionally, and that's something that people remember about you. It was like people could get lost inside of you, like I get lost inside of translation. So it's like maybe you might have been expressing things that were too deep for others to understand, and people remember that about you. But I get this energy of you being comfortable by yourself, just smug, very, you know, this is what it is. I'm cool. I got all that I need. That's what I get. You got all that you need. People remember you always having all that you need and not needing other people. And that's why you were always a loner. But you might have felt like other people didn't love you or that you weren't lovable, but you worked through that. You worked through that fear of intimacy, of not letting people get too close to you. You've gotten over that now. Now you're outgoing and people are recognizing you and they're celebrating you. But at the same time, you're comfortable being by yourself. But you do like the public attention or the public recognition that you're getting now. I get that you like to spend time showering yourself with love and then sharing with others. So you do the work for yourself emotionally, and then you went out and you started helping others. So you could be my spiritual healers, my tarot readers, my Reiki healers, my yoga teachers. You could be counselors, life coaches. I'm getting that energy of you going through a hard time and people remember that you were still being compassionate to them, and as you were working through these fears of intimacy and fears of actually allowing others to get close to you emotionally. And you found an inner peace and started a brand new beginning. You birthed something new. You birthed a new version of yourself through transformation and through releasing and compassion with yourself and with others. But they do remember you as being someone who gets others back or wants to get revenge if someone does you wrong. You could be a lawyer or a judge of some sort as well, because it's like you give your own form of justice. I get that you now understand that you're a deep thinker. That's what I get. People couldn't forget that you were a very deep thinker. You understood that everything that happens to you happened for a reason, and it happened for your soul's growth or for your highest purpose, your higher consciousness or higher understanding. Like there was a grander picture or a grander purpose to what you went through, but you're getting your flowers now is the energy I'm getting. Yep. People just believe, they can't forget about your spiritual beliefs. That was really big. That's really important. That it was just that you might not have been too spiritual. It was just that you believed that there was a purpose and that you're just following a purpose, or that you have a bigger goal to get to, and you were just kind of like allowing the world, allowing life to show you what you needed to see in order to learn the life lessons that you needed. And then you found a peace within, and people can't forget that about you. Just that stage of working through it and getting to the grand finale of being noticed and being recognized for the work and the effort and the conflict that you have been through. Now you found your own peace. You left from situations that weren't fulfilling you emotionally, and you found your own 9 of Cups moment, which is your own self-fulfillment within yourself. Now you're smug. You don't need other people, and people never forget that about you. Before, you might have felt like you needed people and that they just wouldn't give you the love that you needed. Now you have more than enough love for yourself, and you don't need other people. But you are compassionate, and you can give to other people when you see that they need it. You're a very peaceful person now, though. That's what I get. You're a very peaceful person now. They can't forget that. That's what I got. You could have been a sports person, because I see a lot of trophies. So you could have been sports, some type of sports, and people can't forget that about you as well. I'm seeing Earth, so you could be slightly an Earth sign. I'm not seeing too much Earth. I am seeing Earth. So you could be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But I get that you're very grounded now. The way that you are now is very grounded. You know how to deal with tension. You find your own inner peace and you release the tension. You had compassion with yourself while you work through these emotional problems or these emotional traumas. Things that have been stuck in your psyche or stuck in your subconscious for a long time, you've been working through them. You're changing the way that you see yourself in the world, and people can't forget that about you. They can't forget the work that you did, because now you're being recognized for it. Well, that's what I got, Pile 4. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and this is Leo in the third house, and I'll be back with another reading soon. Thanks, girl.